Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fan fiction it inspires. Before we begin, just want to remind you to follow us wherever you listen so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. If you love what we do and want an easy way to show your support, please consider leaving us a positive that's all the stars rating on your favorite listening platform. It helps SPN and fanfic lovers find us and share in the fun. I'm Sandra.
I'm Kasey, and there's a ton of other ways to be part of our supernatural road trip. From joining our Discord to fueling up the Impala with a Ko-fi donation or membership, check out this episode's description or idlinginttheimpala.com. Alrighty, in the back end of 2025, Sandra interviewed a whole bunch of fandom peeps and got a great collection of con stories, and we are sharing them with you. So if you want to see exactly who is in this video, or episode rather, depending on where you're listening, check the description. But these are all amazing stories from amazing fans who took the time to come and speak to Sandra at the back end of 2025. So sit back, enjoy. Maybe you'll be inspired to go to a con yourself. And if you have, and you didn't speak to Sandra about your con, let us know. We want to hear your con stories,
I want to
guys.
do more of these. Kasey and I have been talking about this. We want to try to find a way to either bring back people who've already chatted with us. Maybe we didn't get to their con stories, or maybe you're a little hesitant about coming on to talk to us about, like, say, I don't know.
I won't be there if you come and talk to Sandra for con stories. So nobody panic. I'm not allowed to be there.
Yeah, there is actually reasoning behind that.
You can't sugarcoat that. You definitely said to me, I was like, I just think it will be better if you're not there, babe, because I need this in a time crunch.
Because we are trying to do them in like a certain amount of time, and we know who we are as people. And if you get us together with a person, chances are the conversation is going to go long.
Go on for hours.
So we're trying to make
Sandra
them...
is the more gentle of the pair of us. You come and talk to Sandra about your con story, and then you get the excitement of knowing that I don't know what's going to happen, and I have to wait and listen along with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to be in one of these episodes, and maybe then you're like, hey, I might want to come back and talk to you about more stuff. And we're like, sure, consider it introductory if you've wanted to chat with us, but you don't know what you want to chat about. Maybe you've gone to a con. Maybe you want to share a story. Contact us through all of the ways that you can find in the description. But yes, sit back, relax, and enjoy all of the wonderful supernatural encounters that some of our listeners have had and get to share with you.
Yes. See you next week, guys.
Bye. Hi, Lemons.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I am pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I was going to ask. It's a few days before a very important holiday for the children, so I figure you're quite busy. So
we're busy. We just came from a Hanukkah party, and I'm trying to get them ready for school tomorrow because we have 2 days of school, and then we're going down traveling on Christmas Eve for Christmas. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's going to be a little more informal. It's kind of weird not having Kasey with me. We're just doing this again because trying to figure out a time to have all the people back on that we want to have back on. I'm like, I know people have con stories they want to share and like different updates. So I thought, okay, what's the best way to do this? Let's see who's got some availability and just, get some questions in, get some recordings done, and then compile some things together and share them with our listeners. So I just wanted to thank you again for coming on and sharing. Pleasure. I wanted to know, just kind of get started, as I think we've talked about this when you were on the podcast before, but my memory's a little shoddy. But when and where did you have like your first supernatural, any type of related convention? It doesn't have to be a CreationCon, but I'm assuming it would have been, but it's just me.
My first supernatural related convention was Nashville 2022.
Okay.
So not that long ago. It feels like a long time ago, but yes, that was my first one.
And was that the first time, was that the radio company concert?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go to that one too, or no?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So before we get into like some of your favorite stories, because I know there's a few, have you been to more than one convention since then?
Yes.
Okay.
So, of course, at the time you think, oh, this will be like a once in a lifetime experience and I'll just have a great time and
I'll
that'll
never want to do this again. This will be fine.
Yeah. So since then, I've been to 5 more for a total of 6 cons.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have to count all my badges because I've honestly I've lost track too, but I think it's like 5. It might be 5 or 6 at this point. I really can't remember. Yeah, it's just we'll talk a little bit more about just your experience and what it kind of does for you when you go. But I just wanted to give you the floor and however many favorite con experiences you want to try to wrangle together in 15 minutes, but maybe your top hits, maybe.
Yes. I was thinking about this and I thought I would give you one Jared story, one Jensen story, and then one non-Jared Jensen story.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Okay. So my favorite Jared story is from Austin 2024.
Okay.
So that was a really fun con and I had gold. So I had autos with with Jared and Jensen. So I had planned to get something autographed for a fandom friend of mine who lives in India who may never ever have the chance to go to a convention.
Oh, that's
but
very
who
nice.
is a huge J2 fan. I'm always too scared to talk to Jensen in the autograph line. So I just say thank you to him. But Jared is a little more approachable in my opinion.
Okay.
So when I got up to him, I said, I'm having this signed for my friend who lives in India, and she loves you because she does. And he said, in India? No way. That's so cool. And he was just so enthusiastic about it in his way. That was just the sweetest. And so, but what made it even better, of course, that interaction was lovely and memorable. But then when I told my friend, I sent her the thing that I had signed. And when I told her, she was just floored, not only that I had done that, but that I had said to him that she was a fan because she said it was like a wish of hers to be able to tell them how much they mean to her. And so I didn't do it on purpose, but it kind of turned out that way. So I always feel really good about that.
Yeah.
And Jared's so sweet always. So.
I wanted to ask you too, because if no one's ever been at a creation con and been in the line to the autograph stuff, what's that like for someone? When they're getting in the line and getting ready to see it, how is it sort of set up? How would you describe that?
Well, you're in a line of a lot of people and you're usually doing more than one autograph in a row. So you kind of have to mentally prepare in line.
It's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It's very nerve-wracking. The first time I had no idea what I was doing. And so I didn't know if you could talk to them. I didn't know how long it would take. The whole thing was a big kind of mystery. So that was Nashville was I didn't really know what it was going to be like. And it was kind of over really fast and hard to process. But by the time I did it in Austin, I was more prepared. So I was calmer and I could really enjoy the moment more. And I honestly, to be honest, I spent my time in line before meeting getting Jared's auto, just looking at his hands.
Yeah, you get a lot of, if you're lucky, depending on
a minute.
Sometimes you get a minute, you can kind of just watch the interactions with everyone else. And you can just enjoy all of the greatness that's in front of you and just be this is nice. Please continue talking to the person in front of me.
You definitely get a little contact high, I think, from just being around them and being around all the energy. And they're just they're pros and they're so sweet. And I remember when I was in Austin and I was about to get Jensen's auto, one of the security guards looked at me and he said, you are smiling so big. And I was I know, I'm really excited. And I think maybe he had never worked a con before.
Sweetie, that happens all the time.
Yeah, it was funny. but I could feel it. I
Very
could feel
cute.
myself smiling really big.
Yeah. Yeah. It's infectious, I think, too.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah. That's great. Okay.
It's
So
fun.
now you're Jensen one.
Okay, so my Jensen's right. Well, I think it would have to be from that first con when I went to the radio company show after.
Okay.
It was the day after, and the whole night was just like a dream. It was such a fun experience. The venue was incredible. I was there by myself, but I didn't feel weird about it. I was just like having an amazing time because everybody was there to just kind of support Jensen, I think, because he does, radio company had never performed live before that night. So I was waiting outside before they let us in, and I see somebody walk by, a man who I worked with like 10 years ago.
Oh.
And I was like, I know that guy. I was really good friends with him for a little while when we both had this job in LA. And I texted a mutual friend of ours because I couldn't remember his name. I was like racking my brains, and I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue. I know I would think of it, but I'm just like so excited about this other thing that so I was like, who's that? What's the name of that guy we used to work with? And she writes back me immediately, that's Dean. And I was like, oh yeah, his name is Dean. So then he walked, and he was a musician. Like we didn't work together as musicians, but that was like his side gig.
Yeah.
So he walked by again, and I yelled out in this room full of women waiting to go into the radio company show. I said, Dean. And I'm sure everyone around me thought I was nuts. So he saw me, and he came over, and I was like, remember me? Like, it's been so long, and we had a nice like chat. And he was the bassist for the radio company show, and he had done put together the backup band for like of local Nashville people for the show, because like Steve Carlson, who's in the band, has his people, and then but they needed like a full band to do the show,
right?
So he was that he
was like that coordinator that got put it all together,
and then he played. So that was just random and funny.
Yeah.
And then we go in, and they do the show, and it's amazing. And I had an amazing seat, and it was just like, again, a dream. And like during the show, Jensen's like calling out everybody, and he's like, believe it or not, the bass player's name is Dean. And everyone screamed with excitement. And it was really funny. And so then I got to hang out a little bit afterwards to meet up with him and chat with him after.
Nice.
Which was really cool.
Aww.
So that was like just made like the concert would have been incredible, but the funny little cherry on top was
yeah. Was there like a long line for the concert? Were people like they're getting there in advance? It wasn't like was it open seating?
It was not open seating. There was assigned seats for most of it, and there was some like standing room only in the back. Okay,
and
gotcha. What I remember about that was everyone was very chill and / excited, but we're like well-behaved people, con goers. We know the drill. And Brianna was there, Brianna Buckmaster.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So she came, and we saw her go in first.
Okay.
And she didn't perform. She was just there to be supportive and watch like from the balcony, which was really sweet. And
nice.
That was really amazing. I also went to the radio company show the first night in Austin.
I was going to say that was pretty
different vibe. Like it was a great show, but it was so hot.
Yeah, I could tell.
Insanely hot. Like it was like unsafe, honestly, how hot it was.
I mean, it was unsafe for a lot of reasons, just because of Jensen on stage.
Oh yeah, he was hot in many ways, dripping with sweat. We were all just dripping.
Oh wow,
it was.
I mean, were you concerned
intense.
at some point? Like, did anybody around you was like, this is too much for me?
There were people who left because they couldn't handle it. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm not leaving, but I get it.
Damn it, I'm staying.
I didn't want to give up my spot. I had like staked out a spot early. I was like, I am here for the duration. This is happening. I drank my water.
You were hydrated.
Like, pass out, but that was just general admission. And was fine, but it was not really appropriate for.
Was it smaller than the?
It probably had more people. I think they probably sold more tickets. I don't know about that. I'm sure somebody knows.
Yeah,
but, it was just a big room with no ventilation and like no air conditioning. It was crazy.
Oh, but I'm glad everybody made it through.
It was worth it. I mean, it was a great show. It was very memorable.
Good.
So I feel lucky that I've gotten to see Radio Company.
Yeah,
I really like their music a lot.
No, that's great. That's great. Have any of the cons you've been to, has Jensen performed at Saturday Night Special?
No.
Okay.
No, never. Any of the ones I've been to, and I love Saturday Night Special. It's one of my favorite things to do on. I love karaoke, and I love Saturday Night Special. I love Loud and Swain. I am a big Loud and Swain fan, so I love every time I get to see them perform and Rob perform. But I've never had the privilege of Jensen singing at SNS. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. So you got one more. You got one more good con story that's not Jared or Jensen.
Okay. So my last, there's so many, but one that I will share is this was also in Austin. I had a photo op with Lisa Berry.
Okay.
Who plays Death. Billy.
Yeah.
And she is just the awesomest and so positive and just like a glowing beacon. She's really awesome. So I was really excited about my photo op, but it was so hot in Austin. Like I've already said that once about the concert, but like the whole time it was just like, it was August.
Well, it was August. I was going to say, yeah.
It was so hot. So I'm like sweating through my dress that I was wearing. And I had made an appointment to get my hair blown out.
Okay.
But it was later in the day. So I had to go to my photo op with her and my hair was all like greasy and sweaty. And I had been wearing a hat. So I was like, I'm just going to leave my hat on in this picture because my hair looks terrible. So we get up. I get up to it's my turn next.
Yeah.
I stand next to her and then I say, I'm leaving my hat on. I hope that's okay. She's like, it's fine. And then we both turn to look at the camera and the camera guy, I think of his
Chris.
He wasn't there. Like he was just there. And we both look and he's just disappeared, which had never happened to me at a photo op before. And so we were like, oh, and then we look and we saw that he was talking to somebody who had just left the photo. Who had just had their photo op and he was like, talking to them and helping them with something. He's also the sweetest. So such a helpful guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just standing there with like hugging Lisa and we're just sort of like we started chatting because it wasn't back yet. So I got to like a little extended chit chat with her, which was really sweet.
Nice.
And I said like, I'm getting a blowout in like an hour. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not prepared for this photo op. She's like, it's cool. It's fine. So we get the picture and then I leave. And then I went and got my blowout. And then my hair looked great. And then we had autos later and she was one of the autographs that I was getting. And so when it was my turn, I had the 8x10 from our photo op and I said, hi, it's me from before. And I got my blowout. See, like my hair looks better now. And she was like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. I'm not supposed to do this, but let's take a selfie because now you got your hair done and you had a glow up and stuff. So she took a selfie with her camera of us at the autograph table. And you could see her helper was like rolling her eyes like, oh my gosh, she does this things. And then it sets us back time-wise and all this stuff, but she didn't care. It was really sweet. Aww. And I was just like, so happy. And so like happy to have that little moment with her. And then she put it in her Instagram stories.
That is so cute.
So that I could take a screenshot of it.
That is so cute.
And she wrote a little cute story about like getting a glow up. And
that is so nice.
Was really sweet. She's the nicest, sweetest. So
I've seen her at one of mine and I loved her panel. I think she did it with, I think it was Brianna and I think it might've been Kim and maybe someone else at the time. And I got to listen to her sing at Saturday Night Special. And I already knew she had a great voice because I remember watching a video of her singing with Jensen at an older SNS, and I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, this is insane how much talent all of the different, the actors just have like everywhere, just pouring out of them in every orifice. And I was just like, oh wow, that's lovely. I'm hoping, I don't know if I think she might be coming back to some. It's just, it's kind of hit or miss with a lot of like, the supporting actors when they're going to come.
I try to get the ops with those people when I can, just in case I don't get to see them at another con. Like I've only been to one con with Jim Beaver, so I was like, I have to get a photo with him at that one.
Yes. He's lovely. I love him so much. I love him so much. I did a meet and greet with him, and it was just the best.
Fun.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to just sit there, like, around a little like conference table with Jim Beaver, and his daughter, I think, was sitting off to the side. So it was just like,
cool.
Yeah, it was. I was like my first meet and greet. So it was fun to get to have that.
I've never done a meet and greet.
It's another thing. Maybe don't, because once you do one, you're like, oh, I think I'd really like to do this again, because you really have to rein yourself in, especially with the boys, because they get so expensive the way that the auctions go. And I'm just like, nope, not in my budget now. Can't do it now.
100%. Yeah, no, I have to be restrained.
You have to be selective, especially if you want to do. If you want to do them more often,
exactly.
I think so. I think so. Which is leads to my next question, because I know we could go on and on about all the lovely things that have happened. But do you have any plans for any future cons?
Yes, I am going to the Norfolk, Virginia con in the end of January 2026.
Okay.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, I'm going to that one too.
I know.
And so is Jackie.
I know. I cannot wait. And every time I tell people that I'm going to that con, I say the thing I'm most excited about going to that con is that I get to meet you and Jackie.
Oh, so nice. And are you sitting close to us? Like, are you in one of the seats next to us? Did that happen accidentally, or what? Like, how did that?
I think I was looking at this. I was looking at the map, the seat map, and I was like I picked like the seat that I wanted, and then at like around the same time, Jackie told me what seats you guys were having. I was like, oh, that's the seat I was going to buy. I don't think I had bought it yet, and maybe I would have changed it if it wasn't, but it was literally the right seat. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to get this one then.
That's so cool. I love it. I love when things happen that way. Yeah, I got so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, because I don't know who's going to be sitting on the other side of us, but there's like a single solitary person, I think, before the aisle like gets cut off. So I'm like, I'm curious as to who's going to be sitting next to us there. But that'll be, I am looking forward to that. That's the one thing I'm loving more, is getting to meet people, that I've chatted with and become friends with over this crazy show.
Enjoyed meeting online friends in real life at these cons. It's been really rewarding.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm also planning to go to New Jersey in 2026, but I don't have tickets yet. But I will probably just go for one day because it's within driving distance for me.
That's
so that it makes it more affordable to just do it like in and out. And I'm considering bringing one of my family members with me.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a new experience and fun.
Nice.
So yeah, and New Jersey is another place where I will get to see some fandom friends in real life. So
that's awesome.
I'm definitely looking forward to that as well.
So I guess, because I mean, the way I used to do these things is when I do like my breakdowns or whatever with my husband, because my husband's my buddy usually more often than not.
Is
but
he
I'm starting
with you to Norfolk?
He's not this time, but he will be. He will be when we go to Charlotte, because we're going to do Charlotte.
Nice.
Because Charlotte was our first one that we ever did together. And it's going to be around our 15-year anniversary. So I'm like, what better way to spend it?
Perfect. I can't think of a better way.
Natural convention. He's like, I'm along for the ride with you, so it's fine. I'm like, okay, good.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna have fun, and I'm hoping there'll be new people to meet, and if not someone I've already met online, some new people we can become friends with and connect with that way. So I think it'll be a fun year of kind of like a start and sort of like an end with supernatural stuff. So because the Norfolk one was a total surprise for me as well. I was like, then it happened. I was like, okay. And then Jackie was like, hey, let's, do you? And I was like, oh, okay. And here we are. So yeah, we planned something very quickly, and it's going to be a fun time. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. I think that'll be great.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So before I let you go and let you deal with all of the other wonderful things that have to occur this week, I just wanted to know if you have a word or like a piece of advice, say for anyone who's thinking of going to a supernatural convention, like something you wish, like maybe because you sound like you're more seasoned now. Like if you'd want to tell somebody, this is what you should probably pay attention to, or this is something you should do, or just anything, any piece of advice going to a convention.
I would say, like, the first thing that springs to mind is don't be afraid to take breaks. Like it can feel like you're going to miss something important, but you have to also, you can't just be doing con stuff like for 12 hours in a row. You will get exhausted and that won't be fun. So like, don't be afraid to go back to your hotel room or go get a tea or something. Like there's still going to be lots of fun stuff to take advantage of. You don't have to be like sitting in your seat the whole time or like getting some like an off or whatever every second of the day. So taking breaks, I think, is important, and just breathe and enjoy the moment. and I think creation cons especially, they do want you to have one of those like Lisa Berry selfie moments. Like they want you to have like some kind of really like sort of unique and memorable thing. And so just kind of like keep your eyes open for those opportunities, I guess.
Yeah.
Because everybody's con experience is different and they're all fun, no matter what you do. And just, it's going to be fun.
Did you heed that advice the first time? Did you take it easy, or did you try to do everything?
The first time I did take breaks. I think. I did. I really didn't know what it was going to be like. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how just purely entertaining it was. Like all the panels are fun.
Yeah.
All the activities are fun. So like if you have to miss one, it's not a big deal because the next thing you do is going to be fun.
Yeah. Good advice. Awesome. Well, this has been lovely. I'm glad we got to catch up.
Me too. Thank you for the invitation. I love talking about cons because everyone has like a fun con story. So I can't wait to hear everybody else's. Yeah.
So that's the goal, right? It's just like share all the fun times and all the experiences and all the great things. So yeah. I appreciate you. And I'm so looking forward to meeting you end of January. Yes, I'm guessing karaoke is going to be on the menu then. We'll have to attend karaoke, and of course Saturday Night Special is a given, but hey, maybe all the vibes, maybe we'll get Jensen.
Maybe
the concert.
We can hope. We can hope.
That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely karaoke is on. And it's going to be really, really fun. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, you have a great week.
You too.
I hope everything goes well with school and all of the things, and you have a safe trip. But yes, have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Have a great week yourself, and I'll talk to you / see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Hello?
Hi, there you are.
I was like, wait, what's going on? Here we go.
Yeah, trying to get headphones hooked up. It takes me a minute.
Well, you figured it out. Probably done a better job than I would have, but yes. Good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad you can make some time to chat. I'm sorry I had to cancel on Tuesday, but I really wanted to try to get everybody in as quickly as possible, because as soon as I started to feel nasty Monday night, I was like, oh man, I hope I'm going to be able to do Tuesday. And I was like, nope, not going to be able to do Tuesday. So, so if I do have to mute, it's probably just because I'm coughing. So, I do sound, I had a pretty rough night last night, but we should be okay. We should be able to get through. I tested my voice. I was like, I don't sound horrible. I just sound a little deeper than I usually do. So it's fine. I think we'll get through it. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for wanting to share some of your convention stories with me and with our listeners. I was talking to Kasey a little bit about like, how do we get people back on who have con stories to tell? And this was like the best thing we could kind of come up with. Well, because we know how we are when we get started chatting. So we're like, let's see if we can just kind of like get them to like maybe like half-hour increments. And because we know everybody loves chatting about their experiences with the boys. It's hard not to want to do that, right? So
yes.
I think what we wanted to do is I wanted to kind of start with like when and where was your first like supernatural related convention? Because I know it's not necessarily CreationCon for everybody, but sometimes it is. So where like somebody supernatural was there. When and was that for you?
That would have been technically MegaCon Orlando in 2021. I was in the middle of my rewatch.
Okay.
Mark Shepard was there.
Okay.
And I'm like, I was only in season 9.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm going, And I'm just like, because I'm only in season 9. Crowley's still pretty much, he's still the bad guy. Yeah, he was wavering, but he was still the bad guy. So I'm just like, And I did not go over there. And it absolutely killed me because he was sitting right next to James Mersters, who's Spike from Buffy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I should have paid the $50 and gone over and gotten his autograph.
Oh.
Yeah, it kills me now.
Okay.
But because outside of the creation cons, it really is difficult to find those guys sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're a Jensen fan, you're kind of stuck. You're kind of like, you're kind of like Creation Con. Yeah.
Or you go international.
Yeah,
you go to Scotland, England, Germany, or Italy.
Yeah, and I'm like,
or Australia.
None of those are in my budget right now. So
tell me about it.
Would be nice, but not happening anytime soon. So that's neat. So you actually like. You knew of somebody being at a con you were at, but just didn't. Was it just because you weren't sure how his character arc was going? Is that kind of why you were hesitant about it? Or
I wasn't sure how Crowley was going to resolve. He wasn't necessarily the nicest character.
Yeah.
I mean, he was interesting. He was compelling, but I'm sitting there looking at my budget because that was the con that I had the picture with all 4 of the original Hobbits.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And my little one, who was 5 at the time, was dressed up as Frodo. And Merry and Pippin, and we were still separated by plexiglass because this was like right in the COVID time.
Yeah.
And they jumped up and they're like, Frodo! And they were raising such a fun. And of course, he's just like, what is going on? Who are these people? Why are they calling me this name?
Aww.
And he was so uncertain what to do. And it was just like, but they were so sweet. They were so incredible. And that was also the con I met Brendan Fraser dressed up as Evie and
wait a minute,
librarian from The Mummy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like that was my first big con because it covered multi-fandom. It was just like all over the place. So Supernatural was just like a footnote. Right. It was barely there in that con. And so then I went again the next year and Mark was not there that year, of course. And actually nobody from Supernatural was there the next year. And then we moved way we moved. And I ended up waiting until 2024, and I was able to go to the Chicago Creation Con in November.
So I know you've got stories to tell about that, so we want to hear them. I know a little bit about this, but our listeners don't yet. Like, did you have a lot of plans in place? I mean, were you thinking this was going to be like it, and you were going to just do all of the things when you got there? Like, what was your method to the madness?
At the time, I was thinking this was probably going to be my one and it because they are not budget friendly.
No.
They really aren't. And especially once you get into the ops.
Yeah.
You know, the photo ops. So
Yeah.
it's like that was where most of my money went was the photo ops. And so I planned. eBay was scoured, which is how I got my brown Puma shoes, authentic brown Puma shoes.
Okay.
I got the gray and blue striped shirt that Sam wore through many episodes and many seasons. Seasons
This is
4
earlier?
through 10.
Okay, 4 through 10. Okay. Okay.
And I got the purple T-shirt that had the Whippet on it that he wore in season 1. So it's like I'm total Sam. I'm completely cosplaying Sam when I strolled up in there. And honestly, that's what gave me the bravery to even like stroll up on in there because I'm an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. And generally, anytime I had gone to something like that, I had my emotional support extrovert along with me.
Right.
So I'm fully just like, yep, I'm Sam. I'm doing research, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm here, I'm doing research. And so I can be calm and I don't have to panic, right?
Yeah. I think that's right, though. I mean, I think a lot of people probably like are similarly that way, like when they go, right? Like I at least I think a lot of Supernatural fans are. I think that there's a lot of that. You wear a costume to kind of give yourself that little bit of armor, you know, or you know. So I think it's probably something that's shared by a lot of other fans. Like when you get down to it too. Yeah. Just you have to get the bravery to do the thing. And sometimes like, you know, just dressing up as your favorite person gives you that little bit of mojo that you need to do that.
So, because I went there for all 3 days. So I had.
And you were by yourself totally.
Yes.
Like it was just all on your own. Okay.
It was just me. And well, I did meet this very nice woman who was a few seats over from me, who she was like, you know, we would meet up every few hours and kind of like dump on each other. It's like, okay, this happened. Yeah. So we had somebody to like squee to because we were, you know, so excited over what was happening.
Yeah.
And so the first night was autographs. And I already knew that, you know, I was probably going to kind of freak out a little bit because like, you know, I'm meeting these people and I've watched them by the time that con rolled around, I'd seen the entire series probably 7 or 8 times. Right. So it's like, I know these people and I know their characters. Right. And the first autograph was Billy. You know, second death. Yeah. And Lisa Berry is just the sweetest person you would ever want to meet. Yeah. And I walk up to the table and I pretty much, you know, she says hello and I burst into tears. I'm just like, you know, I was not prepared for this. And so she got up and she comes around. She's like, can I give you a hug? And I'm like, sure, why not? And that woman, she hugged the shit out of me. I mean, you know, cracked a rib and everything. I'm pretty sure I cracked one of her ribs. We were hugging each other so tight. It was kind of ridiculous. And the entire, because it was still Friday. So it wasn't like it was a crazy push to like, hey, we need to get this line going or anything like that. So we stood there for a minute and I got all calmed down. And then she's like, okay, well, I need to personalize your autograph. And so she went and asked for my name and I told her and she spelled it wrong and she showed it to me and I'm like, it's wrong, but it's fine. It's fine. And she, no, we're going to get this right. Oh, goodness. Like she corrected it and she added, you know, a lovely, lovely message to me.
Now, what did you have her sign? Was it just a photo?
Yeah, it was a yeah. Oh yeah, and that was the thing that I did not do. I was not prepared for the autographs at all because they were included with the gold ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm at that table, that creation provides,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, I'm buying pictures
Right.
for people to sign because I'm like, well, what, I did
what do I
not,
get?
I didn't plan to bring anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I had her sign a nice photo, but it was a photo of her.
Right.
And it wasn't actually from the show. It was like her by, kind of peeking out from
Like a
around
promotion
tree.
still or something like that. Yeah. Nice.
And I mean, so it was a nice photo.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I've heard she's very sweet. I was talking to
is.
Lemons, and she had a very similar experience to share. That she's just so sweet to chat with and have a moment with. So that's really nice. It's nice that you got to have that, especially if, like, first time going in, to ease you into the process.
Then I had to go over to see Matt Cohen, young John Winchester, and the girl in line in front of me was talking about songs. And because for some reason, Matt had been talking about singing with Rich, Gabriel. And so she's like, well, you should have him sing Cecilia. And my crazy ass was like, when she started singing it, I joined in, and I'm just like, oh dear Lord. And Matt's looking at us both like, what the hell did I just walk into? And so we sang one of the more controversial lyrics out of Cecilia. Okay. And it's like, if you're unfamiliar with the song, Simon and Garfunkel could get nasty at times.
I'll have to look up the lyrics then. Yeah, because I'm not familiar with that song. I'll have to check that out. Cecilia. Alrighty.
So we sang it, and then he tells me, because she left, and then it was my turn to sign, but it was like a rolling conversation, and he's like, well, because there was this banner behind him. One side was Rob, then in the middle was Ruth, and then on the other side was Gabriel. And in reference to the song lyrics, he's like, well, Rob's the guy who left, and Gabriel's the guy who took his place. And, Ruth just looks satisfied in the middle. And he's like, come on, this is fan fiction just asking to be written. And I'm just like, oh my God, did young John Winchester just give me a fan fiction writing assignment? Is that what just happened here? And I was just like, okay, I have to go. And so,
did you fulfill that writing assignment?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
It actually is lurking in the back of my brain.
Gotcha.
Because if you're unfamiliar with the lyrics, literally the guy had just been with the girl. He got up to wash his face. By the time he came back, someone had taken his place. Those are the lyrics. So in order to do the lyrics justice, Ruth is going to be portrayed as a dirty, dirty girl. Right. It's like there's no making this look innocent in any way, shape, or form. So it's just like,
yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh my God. So much time has passed.
That's funny.
It is. So then the next day was the first of the photos. I had gone out and I had gotten the just me, myself sitting in the Impala that morning.
Okay. Yeah.
And I talked to some of the girls that were out there and some of the creation girls. And I was like, they were very impressed with my outfit. And I'm like, and the one was like, oh my God, and that's the shoe he lost. And I go, yeah, I kind of want to hand it to him. And she's like, oh, do it. You have to do it. Just do it. And oh God, I had been thinking about it, and I'm just like, they don't think it's insane. So then about 2 hours later was my very first photo op, and this did not help. My first op with the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm going out there, and you can't see them. The way they had it all draped off, you could not see them. So I'm just like blind, right? I'm going to come around.
This was the baby photo op, right?
Yeah,
like
this
with
is
them.
the baby.
Okay, gotcha.
Boys. And
and they
I'm
do
gonna,
cordon it all off usually. Like they do like a
Yes.
little like drapey thing all over it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I cannot see them. I knew what they were wearing because they had walked by me to get out to baby because I was already standing in line. I hadn't been like watching to see what was going on because you couldn't, right? So I get up there and I'm like, okay, well, they're like, rush, come on, we gotta move. And so I'm like, okay, I took my shoe off, right? And so it's my turn, and I'm walking across the concrete, the asphalt, one shoe, one sock, holding the other shoe in my hand. And Jared has this big smile on his face. I'm not sure why he did, but he did.
Yeah.
Jensen was kind of like, okay, this is different. All right. I went nonverbal. I didn't speak a single word. I walk up to him and I'm just like, I knew I was smiling, probably a little bit like a loon. And I was just like, I look down at his hands and I'm holding out the shoe and he takes the shoe and he's like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I'm like, I'm just standing there. I'm just standing there staring at him. And it's like, then he's like, hands on my shoulder and like turns me around. He's like, oh my God, you've got this shirt on. That is so good. Oh, and the t-shirt. Oh my God, this is amazing. You're just like a little Sam. And I'm just like,
oh goodness.
In my brain, I'm like, I'm forgetting something. Fuck, Jensen's standing here. Hey, I swing my head over, look up at him, give him probably the most insane smile. And he smiles back at me. And then it's like, Chris is calling for us to pose. And so I have given no direction. Jared's just standing there holding the damn shoe. And it's like, so I put my arms around their waists, right? And they've both got an arm back across my back. Yeah. And we're just standing there. And Jared apparently he decided to play with it a little bit. So he's kind of in the first photo, he's kind of got this look like, hey, I have my shoe now. And then in the second photo, he was a little more into it. Like, yay! Somebody
found my shoe.
The sewers and found my shoe.
Oh, were you worried, like being like, oh my gosh, they just didn't think that I'm a Looney Tunes? But like, you have to know that there are so many people that approach them that have the biggest smile on their face and go completely blank, in the moment of that. I
was hoping because honestly, I didn't even say hello. There was
sometimes that happens. Yeah, there's no
communication at all.
It probably didn't help that it was your very first time, like doing them very first. I think you've got to, because I'll tell you right now, if my first time had been Jensen, it would have been the same thing. Like you got to have sort of like a lead up to it to have that, have that experience of like knowing what you're in for first, but then knowing what you're in for with them. It's a totally different experience. Oh, but he loved your shoe. He loved and he touched it. He held it.
Yeah. In the pictures and
I mean, I'm hoping you've got that thing like in an acrylic display or something in your house at this point.
Oh, it is framed.
Actually, yes. I was going to say.
I wisely purchased the digital copies of all of my photos, which is how I know I got Princess Toe out of Jensen on the second group shot. Which is just like, oh my God, I couldn't even.
Oh, cute.
So he handed the shoe back to me. I walk off. The people who were on the other side of the curtain, they kind of like did one of those I am moments when I came out because apparently I was smiling so big and we're just like, what the hell just happened on the other side of that curtain? And so as the day progressed, I got a photo op with DJ Garth, and I got a photo op with Rich, which was helpful, and that helped to calm me down.
Right.
Then I had my solo Jensen and they were rushing us so bad.
It gets rushy a lot of times. Yeah, it can get really rushy. Yeah.
They rushed me so bad. I just walked up and I'm just like, okay, I apparently have to get this over with super quick. I at least said hello that time, right?
Good,
and
good.
just, tucked myself into his side, and we basically did like an open face to the camera, right? And I'm just like, I would have liked a hug, but okay, I guess I will do that the next day, right?
Yeah.
The next day, and of course, everything's running late, and they're again, rush.
Mm-hmm.
And I came around the corner for the duo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm getting my squish hug. I don't care if these people are yelling at me. I'm going to I'm going to receive a squish hug from the boys. Okay. So I come walking up, and I still feel bad about having like ignored Jensen, right? Because in my brain, I'm like, I ignored him, right? In that first stop, because I was just like so focused on Jared. And even though, I swung my head around and gave him a crazy, crazy smile, it's like, there was no speaking or anything, right? So I'm like, I smile at Jared and then focus everything on Jensen, right? And I stopped in the middle so that he would then approach me, right? And I looked up at him, and oh my God, this blew my mind. And so I'm looking up at him, and I said, could I please have a squish hug? And he goes, love to, darling.
Aw, how nice.
He signaled to Jared, because at that point he had just told me he loves me. Or that's what my brain was hearing. And so I'm like frozen again. I'm just like, I can't move. And so he motioned Jared in, like, okay, we're doing a hug here. And so I'm like my head is tucked in under his chin. And we've all got arms wrapped around.
Yeah.
And of course, I did not see this until I got the digital photo. But he had gone and done a little like toe up in his Nikes. So it's like he's doing little princess toe. So I took just the shot of our feet, right? Because we were really close together, because I mean, it's squish hug. So you gotta be relatively close to each other. And so it's like you've got Jared's feet behind me are kind of spread, because he's like ducking down. And then my feet are perfectly together, kind of nudging in between Jensen's. So he's got the one, and then he's got the other up. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I did that.
I love that he said love to, darling.
They actually both called me that, because on the solo Jared did not go well, because the first solo Jared did not go well, because some of the creation people they're not pleasant individuals to deal with. And they had upset me just prior to going up there. And so when the photo came out, I thought I had smiled, but I had not.
Okay.
I looked very, very upset. So I found Chris at the end of the day, because again, see, it's like there's the split of the really sweet and nice creation people, and then there's the unpleasant creation people. And so one of the nice ladies who was like working the photo lines, she saw me come out of the room, and I didn't look super happy. And she's like, she looks at it and she's like, oh my gosh, you can ask for a retake. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you can ask for a retake. Just talk to Chris. At the end of the day, just talk to Chris. And I'm like, okay. And so at the end of the day, everything's winding up, and, basically it's Chris and his assistants printing out the very last photos to put over in the pickup room.
Right.
And I walk up to him, and I'm just like, is there any possibility that I could get a retake done? And he's like, well, why? And I show him the photo, and he's like, oh, what is going on here? And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't a real good moment. And he's like, yeah, I see that. He goes, well, I can do a retake. You'll have to give me this photo. I'm like, you can take it. You can shred it right now. And he's like, no, just you hold on to it and you bring it back tomorrow, because of course this was on Saturday. So Sunday would be the day to have it done. And he's like, okay, just bring it back tomorrow. It will be your ticket. And, he flipped it over and he wrote on the back, retake per Chris, and, handed it back to me. It was like, okay. I came back that next day and that was my ticket to get in. I had changed my t-shirt, but I was still in the same outerwear. As I'm walking up, and Jared just like, I don't know if he had been alerted or something, but he's just like, you doing okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And he goes, I love your outfit, darling. And I'm just like, oh, dear Lord. I cry. Right before the retake photo, you're going to make me cry. Second photo was much, 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 much better.
Good.
And I'm just like, oh.
So he was able to help turn it around between Chris and Jared. They were able to make it work for you.
And
That's good.
And he is so sweet. He is the sweetest guy. And I mean, obviously willing to do just about anything that a fan asks of him.
They've done this for so long. I think they have this sense, of people, you know what I mean? And like, this is probably a first time. They have no idea what's going on, but it's like, oh my God, these people are right in front of me that I've been, obsessed about and loved in this show for, however many times I've rewatched it. And here they are in the flesh, kind of a situation.
Well, and I was kind of the flashing neon sign of Sam love, because it's like there's no mistaking who I was. I mean, sometimes if somebody just walks up and they're covered in flannel, okay, it could be either boy, right? Do we have time for the auto story?
Yeah, we have time for the auto story, sure.
Okay. So I had gotten just photographs for everybody, right? And then I'm like, no, I need something special for Jared and Jensen to sign. And they're at the vendor tables, they have these really nice wooden plaques with various things on them. Some of them had like baby on there. Some had phrases and sayings. Some just various images. And the one I ended up picking out had their initials, as you see them on the show. And so the SW was at the top and the DW was down towards the bottom. I go to get in line for this, and Jensen was first, and got up there, and he was subdued. And it's just like I'd seen he'd just gotten pretty standard stuff, mostly just either magazines or books, because this was the Saturday night signing, so therefore no photos were allowed. You could only have them sign things. Right. And so he'd been getting like magazines or the big super 15 season Supernatural book. Right. They had all the photos in it. He'd been getting stuff like that. So I walk up with this board and he sees it, and I'm just like, if I could, if Dean could please sign this. And he's like, oh, sure thing. And so he signs across the bottom, and okay, so I go to then get into Jared's line. And I snake my way on up there. Now he is just being chatty and, very personable and, and it's like much more outgoing. And I'm just like, well, that's kind of their personality.
They have very different styles. Yeah. Like that's the thing.
So I get up there and I'm at least sort of speaking at this point.
You're verbal.
Because, there have been no words earlier.
You've gotten over the nonverbal part. You're actually starting to make some noises.
I'm actually talking. So so you hand it off to the first handler, right? They'll slide it across the table to the person signing, who then once signs, slides to the second handler, and that second handler gives it back to you, right? And so they slid it across, and he looks up at me. He gives me a big smile, and he's like, "How you doing?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good." And he's like, "Where should I sign?" "Oh, I know where I should sign, right under my initials." And we all kind of like smile because it's like, those aren't your initials. not actually. And he's like, "Oh, wait, those aren't mine. But you know what? I've talked to Sam. He's fine with me signing. It's all good. It's covered." I'm just
Oh,
like,
nice.
okay.
Nice.
And
Nice.
so yeah, he chatted for just a minute, and it's like, and I realized that the handlers must have a time with him, because if anybody was running late, it was Jared for like the whole thing. It was always Jared seemed to be running behind. But then I personally witnessed him in one of the solo shoots. There are apparently these women who dress up in green dresses with white polka dots.
Okay.
And they have gone to multiple cons and taken the photo with him. And apparently at the previous con, he had said, "Why don't you guys bring me a dress so I can wear it?"
Oh, God.
They did. At
Oh,
that con,
gosh.
they did. And
Oh, my
he's sitting there.
Goodness.
He's
Was he trying to put it
into
on?
this dress. Oh, yeah, he wore it. He put it on. And so there's the picture of the three of them, and they're all dressed in this green dress with the white polka dots on. And I just look over in the corner, and the handlers just like got the hand up to covering the face, shaking
they're
their head.
done. They just don't know
dear
what else
God,
to do at this
Why?
point.
Why do I have to deal with this all day?
Oh,
And I'm
goodness.
like, so yeah, so it's like,
It's always neat, though, to get to see those little moments, too, like with other people when you get a chance to see that. I think those are like really like fun times when you could just see something crazy occurring right in front of you, and you get to just feel the fandom.
Just
take it in. Just take it in like that.
okay.
The busyness of it and I've called it the machine of it a lot of times, like, the personal aspect of it, I think, can get lost, but
Yeah.
it's important when they can rectify it. And I'm glad Chris was able to do that for you.
So
How did your little introvert self get the courage to do that? Because I would have been scared stiff to go up to him and ask them that.
I had wanted that solo shot so bad, because I was going to be dressed up as Sam getting a hug from Jared. And I was just like, it was completely ruined. And I'm just like, I paid enough money at this con.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this shot.
Yeah.
And since one of the photo line ladies had told me, just go up, talk to Chris. This is not a big deal. Just talk to him. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's not a big deal. Then talking to other people after the fact, apparently, possibly it was a big deal. Because I've heard from a lot of people, I've tried to get reshoots. They're like, no, buy another picture. And I'm just like,
okay.
But then again, it's like, since I no longer have that picture, I can't show people exactly what my face looked like. I mean, I looked like I was on the verge of someone had just informed me every person I had ever loved in the universe had died, and I'm about to ugly cry all over everyone. Is basically what my face looked like.
Right.
So it was like, I think that was probably the mitigating factor. It's not like, oh, well, I kind of have a weird expression. No. This one, we were so far past that.
Yeah. Well, was it a very busy like thing for Jared too at that on that day? Like, was it just pushed through?
Yeah, they were rushing, trying to get us all through. Because even on Saturday, Saturday afternoon, they were running behind already. And so it was like, okay.
Yeah, those days when they get behind, man, it's just, you got to hope that there's a day when it's not that bad. And then, but I've been to a couple conventions like that where when it's busy or when they get behind, it's just push. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And then the Sunday morning gold panel had the moment that it's popped up so often on my Tumblr feed that I just like chuckle because it's like I was in the room. Right? I was one of about 200 people in the room that personally witnessed it, but the entire Jensen picking Jared up, throwing him over his shoulders,
Oh,
and
yeah.
spinning him around the stage,
Yeah.
that was that con. And I'm just like, and of course, the woman who asked it, she's kind of phrasing it like a challenge, like, oh yeah, we know Jared could pick you up. Like, can you pick Jared? Can you really pick him up?
Oh my goodness.
And just like, and Jensen, hell yeah, I can. So he did the first little kind of grabbed him by his hips and like picked him up and took a couple steps and then dropped him, right?
Yeah.
And the crowd was kind of like, and he's like, Ollie. At point, yeah, he tips over and Jared throws a hand over an arm over his shoulder, and then he just heaves him all the way up, walks down to the end of the stage, twirls around 3 times, and then puts him down. They walk back over to the mics and they're like, yeah, okay, did that work for you? Was that good enough? And everybody's like, yeah. And they both, and then Jensen does the, yeah, good monkey, and starts making motions like he's eating popcorn. And I'm just like, oh God. Yeah, there were so many Tumblr clips that came out of those, the single gold panel, but then the final panel at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because that was also when they found Rob's phone. And they were taking pictures of them flipping him off on the phone. There was so much going on at that con.
They were definitely having a really, really good time doing. They were doing a lot. They were trying to do a lot of everything with everyone. Yeah. It seems like, oh goodness. So then, when you were all said and done, and you were heading home, were you like, well, this is just checked off every box. I never have to do this again.
To a point, I started looking around. I had kind of wanted to give Jared something else, right? And at Creation, they do not let you do that. So I ended up, I started looking for non-Creation cons that I could possibly see him at.
Right.
And I actually found one here that's going to be in Kansas City coming up in March.
Nice.
And the pricing is so much more affordable. So I was actually able to get 2 photos, 2 autographs for what I would normally pay for one at a Creation Con.
Right. Yeah.
Which is kind of nuts. It's like how MegaCon was, and it's multi-fandom.
Yeah.
So they're going to have Carl Urban from The Boys. They're going to actually have a lot of The Boys.
Okay.
Is going to be there. And, but like William Shatner is going to be there. There's so much going on. And I'm like going, this is Kansas City, right? I was like, did I miss a memo? Did they suddenly become an international hub for amazing things? But it's like, they only do one a year. So it's like, they have time to plan and make it bigger and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to be going to that.
Nice.
And, I'm going to see if I can give him a little memento, because there is a piece of art that was done that I would just like to present to him. And it's just him. It's just him in the picture. It's not nothing shippy at all. It's right. Just him. And I kind of want to present it to him, because it was something that was created from something that I had written. And so I wanted to be able to just present that to him and, show him what was done. And it's like, that can get a little difficult at the Creation Cons. And so, and honestly, we were looking at the prices again, because we were thinking, okay, maybe I could go back to the 2026 Chicago Con, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, by the time we got done just adding up the basic stuff I wanted, and my budget was destroyed. And it was like, yeah.
Well, because it's not
yeah,
just the
yeah.
one thing, right? You've got to factor all the other things. You've got to factor in the transportation. You've got to factor in where you're staying. You've got to factor in what else are you going to get besides the just admission. It's a lot it just adds up so quickly. I feel it's a very overwhelming thing unless either you're good at planning or you just kind of could go with the flow. Like I've heard different words of advice from different people. So I guess for other people listening to this segment, what piece of advice would you give someone who's thinking about going, maybe either, let's put it this way, if somebody's thinking about going to a creation convention in particular, what piece of advice would you give them?
Absolutely, positively plan ahead. Make sure you have if you're getting autographs, make sure that you either have something you're bringing along with you, or you're prepared to buy something there, you know, at the table. If you're doing a photo op, apparently have somebody like shake you by the shoulders before you walk on up there so that you're like in the moment and not completely zoning out.
Right.
And I mean, in the thing with the photo op is it does afford you two people, right? Every photo op allows you two people to be in that op.
Right.
So potentially, you know, bring a buddy along, you know, split the cost. You can all get those ops and then, you know, it's half the cost. But yeah, and like I had mentioned, I had found this woman and she turned into my con buddy. And yeah, we went back and forth squeeing to each other about, this just happened, that just happened.
That's what's great about when you go to those places too. You can just make, even if it's just like friends for that moment, you make friends for that experience. And those are things that you just hold on to around that time. I think those are really special too. That's great.
She was reminding me to, like, you know, you should probably go to the bathroom at some point. Have you gone to the bathroom today? I'm like, not yet. Go to the bathroom. You've got an hour in between things. Go to the bathroom. Yeah. And one time she hooked her arm in mine. She's like, okay, we're gonna go eat now. Like we're gonna go eat because I don't think you've eaten today. Have you eaten today? I was like, no, I haven't.
No,
eaten. We're gonna go eat. Let's go eat.
That's good.
And
That's
it's like,
good that you had a buddy.
So she was so sweet.
Yeah. That's the good thing about this fandom. You know, there are some really lovely moments about the fandom that we all get to experience together, which I think is really nice. Well, Sal, this has been fun. I'm glad we got to catch up and you got to tell me about your con stories. But thank you for taking the time to chat with me. I will leave you to the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy yourself and all the good things. And I will keep you updated as to when I'm going to send this over for you to have a listen to. All righty. I can speak. I know I can speak well. These things can happen. I will talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
We've got special shout-outs for some of our Ko-fi members. From our Shotgun Picks the Music tier, we've got Runaway Dreamer, Crowley's Mistress, Sam and Dean 76, Elia, Charlie, and Just Whispering Fantasies. Thank you for picking the tunes in the car. Support like yours keeps our podcast going. Thank you.